Hello, everyone. That's right. We are back and we're live to talk Below Deck Med Season 9 and Episode 5. I am your captain, Sasha Joseph, joined with my co-captain, our chief entertainment officer, maybe our model extraordinaire. Today, Chappell is here. Welcome. Hello.
Hey, thank you, Sasha. We back, baby.
We're
And
here.
we're back, Sasha. We're back for mess. I'm excited.
Yes,
This is messy. This is
so good.
messy. It was good. This is what I'm talking about. This is what we signed up for. Give me petty drama like this. I'm down. Let's go. I know the chat's raring to go. Shout out to everybody in
Yes.
the YouTube chat. If you're listening to audio, come join us on YouTube. We go live sometime, and this has been great. Yes, Cece, you haven't caught the episode yet, but come catch it live.
Come
Watch the
on.
show, then come hop on the podcast, of course, and in the chat and have these conversations because we got a lot of drama to talk about, and I'm very excited.
Yeah, and we have fun guests to talk about too. So,
Mhm.
listen, we missed you, chat, but we're here. The Peanut Gallery and us are
Mhm.
reunited. Let's make it happen. All right. So, because let's get into it. We have so much to talk about, and we are starting with hot tub time. But Gail and her man are in shambles. All right. And I don't know. I tried to read the text, but I swear they were showing the same text over and over where he's like, I'm a bit hurt. I don't know what to do. Oh no. I'm this, I'm that. Just gaslight. And then she's crying. Shambles, doesn't know what to do. Oh my gosh. Da da da. Gail, stand up. Enough.
Yeah.
Whoa.
I, I don't know, Sasha. I don't know how I felt about this. Like I'm not loving this relationship that they have right now. But honestly, I don't even know who I like. I don't know if I can blame anybody for this because it
Yeah.
just feels like the long distance was just going to take its toll on them regardless. They weren't in a secure enough relationship. In episode 1, we saw him complaining about not being able to talk to her as much as he wants to. And this episode, she's talking about not being able to talk to him when he wants to. Uh,
Mhm.
it's a lot of just like, well, I miss you, and I want to talk to you, and I can't talk to you. So it's very whiny. I'm just like, it might be time to end it. It might be
Um,
time to end this so we can move on. Also, maybe, just maybe, Gail is finding it easier to want to leave this relationship with Nathan walking around the boat looking like how he be looking. You know what I'm saying?
Listen, we'll get to the looks in a second. Don't worry. But it's just Asia had said it wasn't yes, I believe it was her on Watch What Happens Live that talked about, right? Like her man is not the greatest. I think it's okay, low key, that
Mhm.
Gail is doing what she's doing. He's, blah blah blah, whatever. We didn't get details, but we got like a vibes are off type stuff.
Mhm.
So me thinks this is where it starts because they are roommates and she must see her crying all the time.
Yeah, that is tough. And we know Aisha, she's very protective over her stews, and so she's definitely going to speak up when something like that is going on. But in the past we've seen like it's very clear that like the boyfriend sucks or he's doing dirt. You can tell like she can never get him on the phone, or he's like, oh, trying to make her feel like she's doing something wrong. But here it doesn't look like either of them have a real complaint, except they just
No.
don't, they can't really communicate with each other, and it's not going well. They're doing a lot of apologizing, and I'm like, all right, Gail, it might be time to just go ahead and cut our losses.
Hmm. It's so funny. And I'm begging that she stands up and lets this man go because we need more drama. We do.
Mhm.
I don't care what y'all say. And I just think that Nathan is playing the slow game. And I think just like Barbie and our boy, I don't know. Maybe it works.
Yeah, I mean the long game works sometimes,
Mhm.
but then again, he has the easy job. All he has to do
Yeah.
is walk around half naked and hope that she grabs his butt. Because that was what he was offering up this episode. He's like, "Hey, look at my ass, ain't it fat?" And she was kind of like, "You ain't got no booty,
Is
boy.
the
Get
ass
out of
in the
here."
room with us?
You're right. Yeah, and he's just like, look at me, I'm sexy, and she's like, oh yeah, you're cool, and then she goes to her horrible relationship on the phone, and I know it's more alluring to be out in the streets right now with Nathan doing the fun stuff because elsewhere her other castmates, they live in a best life, some of them.
Yes. It's just gonna be ridiculous. And I'm excited for it. I don't know. I feel like they're gonna crash out a little bit.
Yeah, again, I'm just waiting. I'm trying to wait on like I wish this was like super toxic so I can say you're the problem.
Yes.
But
There isn't one person. I agree with you actually that there isn't one person at fault, but I just want them to end it so that we can get more deck team. Because listen, we know that when deck hands start getting handsy, it's curtains.
Mhm.
Everyone's mad.
Yeah, what does it say? Don't screw the crew if
Yes.
you can't handle the emotional drama that is
Mhm.
attached to it. I love that part. That extra addendum that that Asia adds is just like, hey, don't screw the crew because there's also other stuff that comes with that. And
Exactly.
you know, we wouldn't recommend that Gail screw the crew, but it's a lot more entertaining if she does, you know?
We won't recommend it if we're part of the crew. How about that? But since
Right,
we're
right, right.
not and we're just
Right.
watching, we would
Have your fun.
definitely please.
Yeah, live your life, please, faster,
Yeah,
quickly on camera
please.
so that we can all see it.
Immediate.
Yeah.
And Thundercats has me done because it pains me to say that Ian does have more booty than Nathan. I unfortunately do agree. And
Yeah,
I think
Nathan knew
it
he
is
was
the
losing that
like
fight.
budgie smuggler thing.
See, Nathan knew he was losing that fight, but again, he knew it was less about the ass. He knew what he was
Yeah.
doing.
He
Yeah,
just needed to get some strawberry moments. I still don't
right.
know what it means, but I don't
What
care.
she fed him a strawberry in that
I
moment.
saw it. I saw
And I
it.
was like, y'all might as well kiss. Just kiss. Do
Just
it.
kiss. Kiss
Just
now.
kiss.
But
Do it.
wait, can we okay, because let's talk about the main event.
Mm.
Because I can't. I can't. I'm dying. Bree and eyebrows. Okay. Bree and Joe are in the hot tub. Granted, everyone's there. Everyone kind of gets uncomfortable or is like, okay, we need to go. Aisha is like, by the time before I'm in my pajamas, they're about to be out of their clothes. Blah blah blah. All this stuff. Why are they staring at each other like that? That was stressing me out.
Um, yeah, nah. This chemistry, man, between
It's
Bree and
crazy.
Joe, I like Ellie. You might be out of your league here because I think that's just like some animal magnetism that they had in those first days. Like they were ready. Bree made her move at the end of the last
Yes.
episode, just being like, you know, put it in me.
Yeah,
And
literally. Like he put his foot on her face and she was like, okay.
she was like, more.
And I'm saying, really? I would like I would jump off the boat.
See,
I can't with feet.
it had gotten too much, you know, like when the aura, all those like that, those pheromones are coming off of each other, and they're just like that. At that point, the freaky stuff was about to fly because you
Mhm.
want somebody that bad when you let them put their foot in your face, you down bad. Like it's time, get it in. I was like, ring the bell, let's get this party on the road.
Oh, it was so wild. Like having to watch them. And I think the fact that they just left that in. You see what I'm saying? Like the whole
Yeah.
time. It's crazy. Ellie
What
the
did you think?
Lamborghini out.
What did you think about what Ellie's complaint is? Because she does say, "I'm a Lamborghini. I gotta make him wait," and Brie is like, "I'm a Porsche. He can test drive it." You know, like it's like yeah, there's different tactics here. But Ellie in the car in the van, she's telling Aisha like, "Oh yeah, I really like him. I'm down, but I'm gonna make him. You know, I'm gonna take my time with this one." Was Brie sitting in the van in the back like, "Well, good for you," because I'm definitely not about to wait.
Oh my gosh. I see. Here's the thing. Ellie could have gone out on a high, right? I mean, like, oh, you're lame. Like, you take the L. You can have him, sis. All that kind of stuff, right? I think I would have loved it. And I was with you in the first half, and she had
Mhm.
us in the first half,
She did
and then it goes to
crumble.
hell.
Fold like a towel, Sasha. This woman, she took her heart and she just put it on display for all of us to see. And you know, me and you're at home and just like, no,
And I'm
not
just like,
that.
what happened overnight that this is the end?
I'm telling you, I think I really have some issue. I think Ellie is my least valuable player for this episode.
Yes, yes,
I
I think
really
that's
do.
true.
I think that the conversation she had with Bree, they were very much both being like, "Do you like Joe? Nah, it's just fun. Oh, do you like Joe? Nah, it's cool. It's all he for everybody." Bet they go to the bar. They're vibing, and Ellie's like, I got him. He likes me. I'll take my time with this one. I'll leave him on the hook a little bit. Whoop, whoop, whoop. The same Ellie who just told Bree, it's cool. We're just having fun. Bree at the bar said, I'm not going to take my time. I'm ready to jump into whatever this is about to be. Ellie clearly has no issue with it. We talked about it. This should be fine. I think somewhere in there, Ellie lost her way. She lost her way. The lie that she told that it's just fun. I don't really care. All that stuff is out the window. She feel like she got beat. Like Bree beat her for the dude they were in competition for. Ellie thought there was no competition. She had it.
That's
she
the
didn't.
problem. She thought she would. Again, she's a Lamborghini. Bree's the Mazda, I think, or whatever.
She called her Mazda. Yeah.
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 I
Look,
don't know.
a Mazda you can drive is better than a Lamborghini you can only look at.
Period. Okay, and what's more reliable? I don't think it's a Lamborghini, babe.
This was bad. This was bad, Sasha. It was like a slow moving train wreck because the whole time Ellie's like in the car bragging about how much, like, oh yeah, me and Joe, we gonna be. Bree is like, nah. Joe said, let's go back to the room. We about to go make this happen, and they end up in the hot tub. And Aisha even said, like, I had to get out the tub because at that point, I just felt like the clothes were gonna go start flying off, and I was just gonna be in the mix. So she got out the way. People were making room for Bree to make this move. Why was Ellie in the bed sleep?
The thing is, if we're gonna do this, and the reason I'm saying that, I don't actually believe girls should be in competition over boys. Yuck. Yeah. But if we're gonna go competition, and the reason I'm saying that is because if we're gonna act the way we did, starting the next morning into the next charter, then we're in competition, right? That's all I'm getting. So then if we're in competition, we stay in the hot tub together.
Yeah.
And I don't care. We have to be shameless.
Yeah. It's like the night of the HOH competition, on Big Brother. When everybody goes up to the HOH room, you sit there because you cannot leave before you got to make sure you got your in with the HOH. She's sitting there like, oh, it's fine. I'm a Lamborghini. He'll be there when I get there. Okay, Ellie, you probably need to look around, read the room, kind of pay attention. Like you said, they weren't supposed to be in competition. I think from Bree's point of view, they were not in competition. If I hook up with them, fine. You said you weren't really feeling them. If you hook up with them, fine. Whatever. Ellie was in a competition in her head, and she just hadn't said it out loud yet. And now it's just seeping out of her pores, like the jealousy, all that cattiness. Oh, Ellie, man. This is such a fall from grace from last episode.
That's all I'm saying. I just feel like Ellie went out dirty. You know what I'm saying? It's terrible because I was with Ellie in that, like, oh, this is kind of snaky by Bree. Like, I don't think it's cool. Whatever. Like, the both of you should have. We talked about this at length last episode about how to deal with this. But the next morning, Ellie is like, you snaked me. You because of my trainings. You are here and no one gives 0 F's about you, blah, blah, blah. And now over a random guy. And I'm still like, okay, have your feelings. And you're still calling him random. Fine, maybe. And then it just kept going and going and going.
And Sasha, you want to talk about girls fighting girls? Ellie didn't have no smoke for Joe. She didn't say one word to Joe in that whole episode. She didn't say, Joe, what the hell? I thought we had something good. I didn't know you were feeling Bree. What was that about? You played in my face. You made me look dumb. She didn't go to him with nothing. Instead, she's like, Bree, how dare you go behind my back behind some dude after I single-handedly made you employable over the last few weeks as your supervisor. I just can't believe you would try to do that. And I have been helping you. You would be homeless and unemployed without me. Dear God. It was like, yeah, she laid it on very thick. And I just, to this day, I'm still stuck on, you are not her boss. You're not her boss. You are just second in command. You're not her boss. She doesn't owe you any type of like, thank God you trained me. Now I can't sleep with Joe.
That's what I'm saying. And who are you? Who are you? Number one.
Yeah.
Okay. And second is like, why would you ever talk about another human being? Another person you thought allegedly is your friend.
Mm-hmm.
That's my problem. Is that like, if you think right? That, hey, Bree should respect me, Bree should care about me, Bree should, XYZ, right? Enter it. The way you're talking about her equals you're disrespectful, and I never actually cared about you.
Yeah.
That's what I'm trying, like, it's hypocritical, because I think there's a way to be like, "Man, I do feel a kind of way. I am irritated. I think I'll get over it, but I just don't think that was cool." Fine. But why did you need to attack her job
Because
and be
she
like,
felt
"I
like
made you?" Huh?
but that's because she did. She felt like that she made them. She felt like,
Yeah.
oh, because of me, you're in this position in the first place. Like, if it wasn't like I'm taking time out of my schedule to help you, and you have the audacity to go after a dude I like, even though I looked you dead in the eye and said we're just having fun, it's bad. It's bad because
Yep.
it's like she's leaning into this power dynamic that shouldn't even be there, because second stew, like Anna said in the chat, it ain't that big of a deal. You don't run nothing. You can't fire that
Yes.
girl. I don't know. This wasn't good, Ellie. No. Bad Ellie.
Yeah, and I love this actually by Thundercat saying, like, she's playing the wrong game. That's it. She's about to piss off Asia and her ego is trending her in the wrong. That's it. That's
That's the
it.
one. Yeah.
Yep. And Kev is saying underestimate Ellie if you will. She's playing the long game. That's fine, but you're losing.
Yeah, she playing a long game, but she putting herself in a deficit. It's going to be very hard to come back from something like this, because let's say she's still going after Joe, right? Let's say that's still a thing. Bree is now sleeping on Joe's floor. That could one day lead to her sleeping on Joe's bed. You don't want to push her into the arms of the same dude you like. That's silly. Now, yes, she's sleeping on the floor because she feels bad about what she did to Ellie. I don't think she has any issue sleeping in the bed with Joe. She's just like, dang, I'm trying to pull back because I didn't even realize it was coming off like that. But what if she did decide to go sleep in the bed? You think Joe gonna put her out the bed? No.
That's what I'm saying.
Now, she might overstay her welcome soon, because I mean, eventually the guys are gonna be like, "What the hell are you doing? Like, this is not a 3-person room." But Ellie's playing with fire here.
And the guys were being very mean.
Yeah,
like yeah, sorry. Go ahead.
They suck. Well, look, okay, I'll put it like this. They this is Joe's fault. This is definitely Joe's fault, 100%. Joe, and Joe has done a good job of making sure that he's aware that it's his fault, but also this ain't none of my business because y'all not talking to me about it. So he's chilling, but the guys are kind of like, "Hey, Bree, either go talk to Ellie or don't." But you like hiding in here from her. That's weird, Ellie. You being weirdly territorial about Joe when you such a Lamborghini that Joe didn't even like. You didn't get a ride, if you know what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? Like, what? Why are you this territorial over what y'all dancing at a bar? This is what they maybe like 10 of them knowing each other. They ain't even known each other that long.
And Joe is definitely the host. You know what I'm saying?
He's the host.
Because he said anybody can get it. Captain Sandy, does she want it? She can get it.
He's the host. And look, and if Joe's okay with being the host, that's cool. But you really finna fight your homegirl over the host?
Also, folks are wondering, we're not talking about the garden hose.
No, we're calling him a whore. Not like one that makes money. We're saying, you know, like when people say you got hoes, it's like a colloquial for like, I am dating a lot of people, you know, not to say that you are a whore or you're fast or loose or anything like that, because we don't slut shame nobody. But when you say like I got hoes, it's to say that you have like a team of people that you have a roster. You are rotating these people in and out. Mm-hmm. But sometimes if you're not careful, you are the hoes. You are the ones that people are talking about. He is now on the roster. Like, he is fine being on a roster. He does not care. Yes. He's like, put me in the game, coach. Put me wherever you want. Cap Sandy, cool. If she down, whatever. I'm having a good time. So he's not to be taken seriously because he is the host. That's what we're getting at. Ellie fighting her homegirl over the hose is wild.
Is not worth it, girls.
That's not how this goes.
The hose, and you say you want Captain Sandy, please, boo. Bye.
Go be with Captain Sandy if you like her so damn much. You know,
I don't think Captain Sandy would want you, but that's not the point. I don't think.
Yeah, that's not even the point. You know, it's just one of those things. Like, Ellie, do you see how silly you look going to work over going this hard over a boy who don't know you, who's not paying you no mind. You know, this ain't your main hoe. He could be. if you want him to be. No, again,
No,
we're not using whole derogatory. We're just saying like
no.
his identifier is the hose. Like again, I have been the hose. It happens.
Yep.
And then you come back from it. Sometimes you're the hose, and that's okay. But you don't lose yourself behind the hose. That's all we saying.
No, because then you become the joke. And we
Then they're
don't want
laughing at
that.
you.
Yeah.
Exactly. Because how pathetic do you look worried about Joe? And Joe ain't said boo to you. That man ain't thought, he ain't came and checked on you. Hey, Ellie, I heard you were feeling some type of way because of what happened between me and Bree, but I really like you. Like a more like the F boys of Below Deck, they're the ones who would go check on her. Right? Like
Yes.
they're the ones who would be like,
Yes.
it's all good. Luca would go in there and be like, hey, how's it going? Like, you all right? Like, it's not that serious. Who's our guy from last season who's just like, who's Sonny's guy? Sonny's
Yes.
guy
Ben.
Ben would have been up in her face the next day, like, well, like, I don't understand why you're mad. We're not
It's
even that
cheesy.
serious.
We're
Yeah,
just
we're
in
just
the
having a
hot
good
tub. We were
time.
just talking.
Joe didn't even give you that. And you in here mad at your coworker / homegirl / roommate and about to mess up your job behind it. It's wild behavior, Ellie.
And
Nope.
and that's another thing. Let's talk about the sleeping situation. I'm
Yeah.
actually on team Ellie. Night one, maybe Bree's okay. Like, I understand what she's saying. She's like, we're just fighting. I just gotta go. Night two, y'all were fine. You're naked in the room together. Almost. You're helping Ellie get ready for the day. Blah blah blah. Why did you go sleep in that room again? That's embarrassing, Bree.
Yeah, but also Ellie been acting a fool behind her all day. Like they
Okay,
had one good moment.
Okay.
Like you're really not gonna be talking to me crazy at work all day and think I gotta come stay with you,
Got it.
especially
But this
when
is my room. I feel like
Yeah.
I deserve sleep. You can be
Yeah.
uncomfortable.
That is correct, Sasha. I think that Bree, you going to sleep with the guys. For one, that is like it's like you don't got to do that. You know what I'm saying? Like you can come back to your room.
Me a little bit.
Yeah, but it really is. Comma but. One, if Bree is doing it to get on Ellie's nerve, kudos, Bree, because Ellie already pressed. Go for it. Push the
I
button.
didn't think about that. Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
push
I'm
the
back,
button.
baby.
Because Ellie definitely made it about her. She's like, I don't
Yes.
like that Bree's trying to make me look like a horrible person by sleeping in the other room. Have you seen any of your interactions throughout the day? She's like, I just don't think you should tell me what to do. Bye. And just walks away. Bree can't even like suggest that you put things in a different spot or anything like that. And then when she retells the story, she makes Bree sound awful in all the stories. This was bad from Ellie. This was a bad Ellie episode, man. I don't know. Like I agree that Bree should go and sleep in her own bed because it's your room and you deserve that room. And if anything, make Ellie uncomfortable.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. But
Ellie left herself. Well, Sasha, Ellie left herself open for this though. When you give somebody your heart like that, and you say, "Here I am, bleeding out behind this guy I don't know," you leave it open to somebody like Bree to be like, "I'm going to be aggressively passive aggressive and go sleep in that room for a couple days. See how that make you feel." Now look at you, Ellie, with your clown nose on.
Okay. You guys have won me back. Okay, I don't mind that. I was like, this is silly. This is all silly, and I just don't like that the dudes are like, she's gone. She effing sucks.
Yeah, it's because you're watching the competition happen with the girls, and it shouldn't be happening. It shouldn't be happening. Like again, we come in this.
I'm never.
Yeah,
yuck.
We come in this looking at it like, okay, the girls need to be a team and work through this. But then, like, we're past that. Ellie made this a competition the moment she started hollering behind Joe. So now that it's a competition, what am I supposed to say, Bree? You know what I'm saying? Bree doing what she needs to do. If she was real, she'd be in that bed with Joe. But whatever.
Listen, that's what Lolly said. Lolly said Joe would be in the bed.
Exactly, above Ellie. If you want to play those games, Ellie, but whatever. Again,
the joke is you even do that and you make sure that you do nothing. You get what I'm saying? Let's just sleep.
Just cuddle. It's cool.
Yeah. And even if you don't want to cuddle, you have no choice. The bed is so damn small.
That's why I'm advocating for Bree, because I'm like, Bree could be taking this to, sometimes there's some people they'll play the little games, they'll do the little tit for tat, and then there's some people who will take this to hell.
Yeah.
Bree could be taking this to hell. Sasha, you give off the like, I will take this to hell vibes. Like I will.
But the thing is, I would never be in competition with the girls, so I would just be like, Joe, you're gross to me. But yeah, unfortunately, I would take it to hell. What I would do also is figure out how I could get Nathan to escape the room. You see what I'm saying? So
Mm-hmm.
Ellie won't get me in trouble with Aisha for
Mm-hmm.
issues with our room. And
Mm-hmm.
then 2, she'll dream and nightmares about what we could be doing.
What could you
Meanwhile,
be
I'm sleeping
doing
on
in
the
there?
floor. That's what
Uh-huh.
I would do.
That's it. Bree, she better. Look. Thundercats in the chat said Natalia would take it to hell. And Camille.
Yes.
Natalia would take it to
Camille.
hell.
Camille would have had sex with him right above.
Yeah. Just out of spite.
Yeah,
Just
yeah,
just
100.
because. Yeah. That's just like you don't
Yeah.
want to start these games, Ellie, if you
I
can't play.
like to play emotional warfare. That's why I want you to, like, think that I'm doing stuff, but I'm still clean, and I didn't actually
Yeah.
do anything.
See, and you mad all about nothing, cause honestly, Ellie doing all this because they was kissing in the hot tub. Yeah, there was a little top
Mhm.
play. You know, she took her shirt off a little bit. She popped the top off the
Which was
Maybach,
crazy. I was like, "Okay, and then now what?"
and
Nothing?
then she was like,
Okay.
"No, we good. We ain't gonna have to do that." You know, she just
Yeah.
gave him a little taste. Bree was just chilling. She was having a good time.
Mhm.
You doing all this, and they ain't even did the do all the way. Ellie, come on,
Seems like
man.
they
You can't
just
let people
kissed
see you
at this
slipping.
point.
Basically, I mean, I don't know what the bases are like, but I think
Oh,
this is a
valid. But, I
base
mean,
that
we
you
would have
hit when you do some top
seen
play.
if he did anything up top
Yeah, but
because it was
well,
out.
she took her top out. Yeah, like it didn't seem like they got too graphic. I mean, there was some cutaways, but it
Oh,
could have been way
sure.
worse. It could have been
Yeah,
way
yeah, yeah.
worse. Ellie,
But,
you tripping
in
over
the hot
nothing.
tub, yuck. Just
Yeah.
doesn't Anyway,
Nah.
let's move. Anyway. Uh, so it's just Ellie is just, like, on a rampage, right? Because I watched it twice to just make
Mhm.
sure this part. So they're putting provisions away, and Bree's like, "Oh, yeah, like, this goes here, and that goes there." And Ellie says, "Excuse me, you can't do that. Like, don't ever undermine me ever
Yeah.
again."
Undermine? Who the hell are you? Undermine?
Undermine what?
In what way?
And she's
Like,
like, You're overriding me." How? They just asked her a basic ass question.
and then it's funny because the whole deck crew and the chef are like, Bree, it's okay if you speak up. It's fine. Like you can say it because Bree's like, okay, look, just go to Ellie. She obviously cares way more about this than I do. And they're like, no, Bree, if you have an opinion, you can say it. She's like, I don't know, because Ellie kind of tripping him.
Can you imagine some bitch like
No.
telling you, that's not how you podcast?
Yeah,
Actually, how dare you tell me how to podcast?
Sasha, see, what you didn't understand is that as your supervisor here on the Below Deck podcast, I don't appreciate you, you know.
You're right.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't like for you talking to the chat like that. Don't ever disrespect me like that.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Who are you?
And meanwhile, I would just end the stream. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
We're both going down.
Yeah, like take it to hell. Because if you don't end the stream, we're going to hell live on YouTube.
Exactly. And then Rob's gonna have to call us all live because I'm not getting off the live.
Yeah, show our ass. The chat gonna be going crazy, you know. Good content, but also not ideal.
Oh my gosh.
But this was the first of many of Ellie just feeling like Bree was overstepping, and we see Bree actively trying to like, I don't know if everything okay. Like she went to Ellie and was like, "We good," and then she started like, "Okay, what about this? What about that?" And Ellie the whole time was just like, "I just don't feel like you're you're disrespectful. You're insubordinate. All this other stuff. Like you are not her boss, and it's driving me crazy because if you." I don't know. It's just
But even if you're the boss, there's no how Aisha is not talking to them like that. So actually, you don't want this as your boss because a boss would be like, "Oh, that was totally cool. Next time, don't worry about it. I'll just like handle it. I'll just send all the questions to me."
Yeah.
But again, if you're a boss that cares about that much, please go take a how not to micromanage class because that's embarrassing. I better have trained my staff to know where the effing wine goes.
Yeah. And it's just like, then nobody died. If you put it up there in the wrong spot, guess what? You can move it. It's okay. It's just wine. It's just wine. You know, y'all went 3 days without it anyway. You know, we're waiting on the provisioner. Anyway, like, it's fine. It didn't go nowhere. You didn't throw it off the boat. It's cool.
Exactly. And she just keeps going and going and going. And then, I just love that Bree's like, I think she's just like really trying to push the hierarchy of the boat, but like, girl, bye. And then Ellie is like, why don't you sort the fruit? And
Right.
Bree said, "That's sweet, but that's not a priority for me." That was
Yeah.
so good.
But Bree's not wrong. Yes,
No!
Ellie, you sort the fruit. That might be something that you need help with. But we also know that Bree's awful at laundry, and you're not very helpful today. And so she probably needs to go ahead and get a start on this ironing because she's gonna be doing it by herself. Because you can
Exactly.
clearly tell that Ellie's not gonna be that helpful to Bree. So she needs to get in there and start ironing and steaming right now while she still can. Also, I don't want to say there was some production interference, but I just find it funny that the day that Ellie and Bree start fighting on the boat, Aisha has an infection in her thumb and she just has to get whisked away to the mainland
Mhm.
while these two women are basically leaving Ellie in charge to be on a
Yeah.
power trip all day. I know production made the phone call like, Aisha, don't you think you should get that looked at? She's like, no, I think it's fine. Like, no, you really need to go. Like, just go tell Captain Sandy. We'll bring a boat around. We'll
That
take care
doesn't
of
look
you.
good,
It
actually.
doesn't
You know
look
how mob
good.
mentality can make you think you're sick? That's what that's
Yeah.
giving.
They like pulled up the WebMD and they're just like, hey, it's not looking great. You could die. So you
They could
probably want to
take
get
your
off the
whole
boat.
thumb off or maybe your
Yeah.
whole hand.
Up to your elbow at least. You gotta go. And so Aisha, the person with a clear mind who's not in the drama, she's gone for Ellie to just be a tyrant on the ship the whole day.
It's so funny. I'm sorry. I think that thing is hilarious, especially when Brie can handle her own. Because she's like, Aisha, my boss, like you said, the hierarchy. So
Mm-hmm.
my boss wants me to do this. So that's what I'm gonna do. And Ellie just cannot handle that. And she's going to Jono. That's not your friend.
No, that's not your friend. You don't even like Jono. See, miserable people love to bond over disliking
Hmm.
somebody else. They love
Yeah,
that.
that's
Like,
true.
hey,
That is very
isn't Bree the worst? And Jono's like, I don't know. I think it's crazy. Bye. She's just kind of,
He's not giving her anything because he seems to be
mm-mm.
like that'll be like in the drama, but I think it's because he doesn't like her. Maybe that's why. But it's nothing.
Well, that he got bigger fish to fry. Like he literally needs to be
Literally,
focused on his
yes,
meal. Like, yeah, he does not need to be worried about what the hell they got going on.
that's
And I'll
true.
give Jono some credit. When Aisha comes back, he tells her, you can talk to your
Yeah,
stews because they wilding.
and I think that's the best, most mature way to handle it. That
Mm-hmm.
like,
Mm-hmm.
hey, there's unnecessary drama. This is getting weird. Let's talk about it. And when Bree also, I feel like talks to him, she doesn't. Again, I may and I could be biased. I'm willing to admit that, but it just felt like Bree's like, oh, I'm just upset with the unnecessary drama. She isn't necessarily going in on Ellie in that moment. And then
Mm-hmm.
she's like, but I'm gonna be passive aggressively spicy. And then
Ah,
Captain Sandy said, "What? Can you
what was
run that
that?
back?"
What do you mean? What do you mean by that? I said, damn it. It's the worst thing in the world when you holding in your life, you hold it in what you should be saying, and then the moment you let it slip, the boss come around the corner. You're like, God damn it, you ain't supposed to be here. This was my moment to just finally vent about this horrible ass
That's
girl.
the worst thing ever. Like at my first job, I had to like sit with my supervisor and be like, "No, like sometimes I just want to bitch. Like I don't want to.
Yeah.
Like it's nothing."
I'm not looking for a solution. I'm not,
Yeah.
I have this in me. I need to say it out loud and I'll be fine. I just need to vent. And Captain Sandy just hits the corner, like, wait a minute, hold on, pause. What's going on before you even
Mhm.
start that? And Bree, she cleans it up real nice. She's like, well, when I said passively aggressive, I meant I'm feeling hurt, but I'm gonna keep it into
So good.
professional. I said, come on, Bree. Come on. She fighting back. Fight back, Bree.
Oh my god. It was so funny, man. That whole situation. Like I couldn't breathe because and the chat is talking about this too, where it's just Juliana specifically says, can't believe Cap did nothing about it after getting in the middle of the Frasier stuff on below deck. I cannot like double down enough on, I think she's finally watched the seasons and she's like, I need to get my life together. And I
Yeah.
can't do that. Because normal Captain
Yeah.
Sandy would have been like, did she tell come here, Asia. Step into my office. Okay, tell her what you told me. And it would have been a
Uh-huh.
whole thing.
Yeah. Cause see, I've never met that. See, I told y'all when I first got here, y'all were like, Captain Sandy's the worst, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, she seems like a swell lady. And I kind of like how she handled this. She was like, all right, Bree, okay, but just if it gets bad, you got to speak up. And then she goes and tell Aisha, by the way,
Yes.
we're seeing some stuff.
No, very
I'll let
mature
you handle it.
captain. Yeah,
Yeah.
I was surprised.
Yeah. But also Bree, come on, man. That was so smooth. She was like, yeah,
So
Captain Sandy. Because what Bree wanted to say is like, yeah, I'm not gonna say nothing to her, but she gonna get this attitude, you know what I'm saying? Like she ain't gonna just be talking crazy to me all day. She fixed it. I like that from Bree. Bree's surprising me. I really didn't think she was long for this below deck world, but she might make a whole charter.
No, I hope so. I think Bree's in it now. I think we're
Yeah.
good. She found that nemesis to like act well. Does that make sense? To where she's like, oh, I
Yeah.
need to like get all my work stuff good.
So I can be
Because of
petty in the back.
yeah,
Yeah, you got to. Because you got to have your ducks in a row, especially when you're going up against somebody at work. You can't, because they'll throw you under the bus for
and
work stuff. Like,
and that's my point. I think you're like this too, where if we don't like someone at work or whatever situation we're in, we're gonna like overperform.
yeah, I'm gonna outshine it. I'm gonna go above and beyond. I'm gonna make you wish that you had never that you weren't feeling those things. I'm make you annoyed that you can't complain about me anymore.
Yes, that's it. Oh,
Yeah.
ding, ding, ding.
You want to be mad at me so bad, but you just can't find anything.
Oh my god. Yeah. Yeah, and Anna does say like Sandy absolutely is trying to fix the things the audience criticized her for. You can see her thinking through the optics of it at every situation. I am so with you.
And that's okay. I think that, and I'm not gonna come in here and be like the biggest Captain Sandy apologist, but I will say that it's something about once you see how you come off to people that you're able to adjust. And I think there's so many people in reality TV are just awful all the time and they just make a career out of it. That's their whole personality, it's their whole being. I think that Captain Sandy probably didn't love getting a lot of the feedback that she was getting, especially when a lot of her feedback was that she was hard on the women on the show, right? Like it's always the interior that she's coming down on. And so she probably was like, yeah, that's probably not, come off too great for somebody like Captain Sandy. So she's like, because she probably fancies herself like a leader of some of these women and stuff. And to go in and hear all this feedback year after year, like, because Captain Sandy, when I got here for the below deck crew, when I showed up in the galley, I mean 0% approval rating for Captain Sandy. So this has been a big turnaround from her.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. And listen, Zen is us. I do my best work when I'm angry. Correct.
Yes, and Lolly says that Aisha talked about in an interview that the Ellie feud with Bree is nowhere near over, and that is good for us because that means we get to come back and talk about it some more. And I'm excited.
Oh, and it's gonna get I at this point I think it's gonna get bigger than Joe. It's gonna steamroll away from him and into like just an issue, basically. So I can't wait. I can't wait because they're still fighting about like Bree's like, you've been teaching me so well, blah, blah, blah. But like, it's kind of belittling. And I'm sorry I slept in the boys' cabin. And then belittling, that's a strong word. I'm not engaging. Are you kidding me? Blah, blah, blah. And then you're playing the victim card. It's nowhere near over. It's not over at all.
Can we give Ellie any credit for anything she did in this episode? Because I mean, if this was a point system, this moment here, I'm like, Ellie,
the table settings were very nice, and we know Captain Sandy really cares about that.
Beautiful gowns. This is man, because the Bree is apologizing to her and literally being like, hey, here's my issue. This is why I'm sorry I've been sleeping in the bed. Obviously, it's bothering you that I'm sleeping in the other room, but here's why. I feel like the way you talk to me sometimes doesn't come off the greatest. It feels belittling to me. She didn't say you belittle me. She said it feels belittling. And Ellie's like, I'm not going to let you just say here, I be belittling you. That's not what I do. Because I don't. Because I'm carrying you through this ship. I put you on my back. And this is the thanks I get. I ain't going to listen. And Bree like, I'm just trying to have a normal human conversation with you. Like, no, I'm not going to hear it. Nope, I'm out. Nope, you shut up. I'm not doing this. I was like, Ellie. I'm hoping Ellie watches this back and kind of feels differently. We were just talking about Captain Sandy making some adjustments once she saw herself on TV. This probably, this should have fueled at least a text message, like, my bad.
Yes, something, right? Give us crumbs. But no, like I said, this is going to snowball out of Joe into way more. That's how I see it.
And do you see Aisha having to pick a side? Because in this episode, when it came time for Ellie to actually honor her boss's wishes, she disobeyed Aisha. And I wasn't expecting this. I've never
So it
seen
was
anybody
over
just.
and over. I don't know if you realize that. So when the guests were coming on, she's like, okay, I hear you. And I need to like, we got to talk about it after the charter, but we will talk about it, right? We were getting a lot of that. And which was great. And I think that's what a boss does, especially when these freaking people are literally about to walk on the boat.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's normal. Okay. But then she just keeps going. And Asia literally has to open the wine fridge and is like, could you get the champagne, please?
Yeah.
Terrible.
And
Terrible.
and it gets worse. We will
Yes.
see eventually the primaries want to do a
Mhm.
fashion show, and I'm sure we'll talk about it a little bit later.
Yeah.
But Aisha is begging Ellie to come outside, like come to the fashion show, put on some clothes, and come on. And Ellie takes forever. Now, mind you, she looked good as hell. She put on her BDSM leather suit, but it took forever. To the
And
point where
we've
Aisha's in
seen
the
this
camera talking
before,
about,
unfortunately, with
yeah,
stews just like taking years to get ready, and then it's like causing so many issues.
what was that horrible stew? Was it Laura, the one who was with Gare? Was it with who was the? You
No,
remember that?
Gary was fine. That's Mads. Mads was
No,
with
who?
Gary.
No, was it Matt? No, I'm talking about who was the? Yeah,
Yeah, I just
the
couldn't
chick.
remember her name. Because
Yeah,
I keep thinking Magda,
she
but
got put off. She got put off the
yes.
boat for the same reason that the other guy got
Mhm.
put off the boat.
Yes.
Mhm.
Who, did a
Ooh,
whole thing. No, I can't
yeah,
remember.
yeah. But anyway, she was one of those too that just I take forever to get dressed. I
Yep.
gotta look perfect. Ellie did all that stuff,
Yeah,
and
Kyle and whoever else.
yeah,
Anyway.
there's too many names. But
Yeah.
Ellie would not come out. Then when she did, she made like this grand display because it's a fashion show. She damn near falls down, which is embarrassing enough because you made these people wait all this time and then you tripped.
Yes.
And then Aisha, to the point where Aisha is like, I think she's trying to get signed as a model or something because there's no reason why she should be making a big deal out of this. This should not have. I guess she should not have basically just been disobedient to Aisha in this way because the primaries were waiting. Like she almost missed the entire fashion show because she had to be perfect. Meanwhile, everybody else is wearing like wigs and no shirt and like rag. Yeah, just threw whatever
Just
on
literal
because
trash, honestly. And
yeah,
her
they're
name
like,
was Laura. You're right, by the way. Just
yeah,
yeah.
she was a weirdo.
Mhm.
But she's a weirdo. She can go. But as far as like this moment, it just was a lot about nothing. And again, Ella looked good, but at what cost?
Yeah. I'm so with you on that. It's just so terrible. And it makes you look bad because even the guests were like, oh, I guess it's over. Are we waiting for someone? When is this gonna start? Blah blah blah. Right? Like we kept getting like a weird back and forth with the guests. And I don't think you ever want to be in that situation with the guests where the guests are like waiting or just kind of getting a little anxious, especially after alcohol and mid dinner.
Mm-hmm.
So I think Asia's correct that maybe she's trying to get scouted.
Maybe. Tripping and falling on your runway walk is not going to help. But I'm happy she had her moment. I guess I'll say.
Yeah. I'm with you on that. I think let's get into our primaries since we're starting. So Sandy, of course, calls everyone in. Captain Sandy's here for the preference sheet meeting, and we knew this was coming. So the primary is former fashion model who was on America's Next Top Model. Which funny if Chef Rachel was here. Because she was also on America's Next Top Model. But anyway, Brittany Brower is here, and her best friend and former roommate Trishelle is freaking coming on as well. And we saw Trishelle in the preview, so we knew Trishelle was coming. And we're gonna have a wedding, as well as a few more, requests. But wild, okay? Because Big Daddy Dean is getting married.
Yeah, and this is what the ninth or something wedding renewal that they're doing, like vow renewal. Cap says like Kiss the Bride for the 9th time. I was like, oh God, like how often do y'all do this? But I think it's fun. Keep the marriage spicy, and it's fun. I will say that. Now about this primary. This is why you want me talking about these shows. I'm not the most knowledgeable about Below Deck and the Bravo Sphere, but I know old reality shows. These are my people. I know Brittany and I know Trishelle and I know them well.
Same.
Yeah, Brittany from like America's Next Top Model. I want to say like season 4 or something.
That I don't remember the season.
Yeah, she was one of the standouts for sure. She was a big personality. She was fun. She did pretty well. I want to say she might have even played in All Stars. Like she came back again later on for All Stars. So it was fun to see her here.
She's done so much that you can't. It looks like she was just on America's Next Top Model in 2003, but then she did Battle of Network Reality Stars. That's where she came back, and we saw her again.
Gotcha. No, she did come back for All Stars as well. Brittany Brower came back in 2011 for All Stars, but she was the first boot. But anyway, Brittany's
okay. I was like, I don't remember. Yeah.
She's fun. And then Trishelle, of course, for the uninitiated. This lady's been on reality TV forever, for my entire life. Yes. I remember watching her first season of The Real World in Las Vegas, where she was everywhere. I will say that. And then she ended up going to do The Challenge. She's done a bunch of reality TV shows, and then recently has won The Traitors, which is kind of undertold stories that she actually won the game, but she did. And so it's good to see Trishelle back in here making the reality TV rounds.
Yeah, I'm just glad, and she seems like she's enjoying herself. It's fine. We're excited for all of these people. So it's just they seem like a fun group, and I love that Captain Sandy's like, do not fangirl. And Aisha, I don't know who they are.
I don't know these people. I don't know her.
Sorry to that man.
Meanwhile, I would have been like, okay, Trishelle, tell me everything. I mean, I need to know. Okay, season 4 of The Challenge. When this happened, then I'd be like, okay, take me to The Traitors. Now,
I'd be like, how was Phaedra? Did you
why did y'all vote out Sandra? I have questions. And so
why Sandra? Why my girl Sandra? Okay.
Why? Yeah, let's start there. So yeah.
Why MJ? My poor MJ June.
So many questions, but also good to see them both on television.
Yes.
They were fun. I think the only issue, the only real drama that came from the primaries is Jono might have overcooked Brittany's steak.
Yeah, because her steak was dry. And when offered to replace, she's like, I just don't like it. Like, it's just not good. But everyone else seems happy. So that's nice. But yeah, and the lunch was good too. Like the sushi was nice, and they liked it, so it was all good. I just think that it was very much a meh overall. And listen, Marsha's a 3-time breast cancer survivor, so like whatever Marsha wants, we're making happen.
Give it to her.
Yeah, the wedding was sweet. I felt. I'm wondering why Captain Sandy couldn't print out the vows. I'm not a phone girly in that way. Captain Sandy was just had her phone and was just like, okay.
Do you think they have a printer on the boat? They do. Yeah. They do because they have the info and the information too, and they have the preference sheets. Yeah.
But that maybe technically could have come before, production just secures everything beforehand. But still, there's
a little ghetto. It's a little ghetto.
A little bit. And then the only other thing I will say about the wedding, I feel like they could have bought a bouquet. The easiest.
Cap Sandy could have dressed up a little bit too. I'm just saying. I know disrespect to Cap Sandy, but you the minister.
She could have been in all white because she was wearing her black pants, right?
Yeah. I feel like it was a little ho hum. That's what I'll say. I'm not complaining about it, but we talking about it. It happened on TV, so we gotta talk about it.
Yeah, I'm with you in that. I just felt like it was meh. And I feel like we could have done a little bit more. Just some bouquets. I just think some fresh flowers would have changed the whole vibe.
Remember that time they took the swingers to that waterfall they always like on Below Deck?
Yes.
On Below Deck proper. That's what they should have did. They should have found a nice scenic location
and we're in
and
Greece.
took them there. Yeah. like a mountain or something you can go up or something. You
A
know, really
beach,
make this a moment.
damn, have
They
some
didn't even leave the
water.
boat. Yeah.
No. And I think it was not on the best part of the boat. Maybe that's why it was throwing me off. I think you needed to
Yeah.
have, like, the water way more.
Okay. I'm loving that the chat agrees with us. I don't want to feel like I'm nitpicking, but I was like, man,
Yeah.
we've done better. We have done better. Okay. Just saying. Captain Sandy talking about there's a luxury yacht. We can't have no chicken on the
This
luxury
is a
yacht.
chicken wedding. How about
This
that?
was a chicken wedding. This was a chicken wedding. You check the box when they tell you the RSVP,
Yes.
chicken or beef. Chicken. Yeah, this is a
That's the
chicken
only
wedding.
option, chicken or, tofu. But I feel like tofu's fancy. What's, like, a
Yeah,
basic
it's chicken
vegetarian
or
thing?
salad. You
Oh,
know?
yes. Jesus Christ. Yeah, and Lolly, I think it says they said fun and silly ceremony. This was normal.
It was chill. It was like,
It's
okay.
giving you the only seasoning I know is salt and pepper wedding. When I feel like
mean,
Marsha is not that woman. Like, the way
yeah.
she walked onto that boat, that outfit, oh my God.
Yeah, Marsha was
So
cool.
good.
She was cool. They got they
Mhm.
again. I'm sure they were very happy with it. But for me,
Yeah.
I just feel like we've done bigger and better. Honestly, even the fashion show was kind of janky because we've seen bigger and better done on Below Deck.
When they
Man,
go
I know we
out,
have.
they dress better
Yeah,
than that fashion show.
yeah. Like it was fun. That the fashion show was
Mhm.
fun and silly. But
Yes.
even then, it felt kind of thrown together. So like, put on this purple wig and walk out, and you take off your shirt and walk out. It's like, all right, we again, there's a little bit more effort. That's all.
Yeah. Yeah, and then the fashion show was like, "Okay, sure, whatever." I just can't believe 25 minutes late is ridiculous. And here's the thing I think I wanna personally say, because I know people like this. I am jealous of people that take long to get ready to look perfect, because and the reason I say that is because I would be one of the people that just throws anything on, and then I'm gonna be mad that, "Oh, I didn't, spend time to do my hair. Oh, I should have, like, at least spent 5 minutes to, like, put some concealer on." I don't know, something. So,
Yeah.
I am very much in awe of people like Ellie in that moment where I was like, "Yeah, I wish I took up more space."
She was the main character of this episode in her mind. She took a lot
Yes.
of space. Like, it's bad when the fashion show is over, but the primaries can't even move on with their life because they're waiting on the last member to walk out in a bodysuit.
And in all black, like, give me something fun. The
She
shoes
looked
were cool
good.
and she almost fell.
She looked good, but it's still to be 20
Very
minutes late.
America's Next Top Model, where they were almost
Yeah.
falling on the run.
Yeah, and Brittany, of course, says if you fall, you got to keep going. Just keep walking. I was like,
Yep.
I feel like we've seen this conversation happen with Brittany
Yeah.
specifically on
Where's
American Next
Miss
Top Model.
J?
Yeah, and Mr. J, the
Miss
J's.
Yeah. Well, Miss J did the walking, right? The walk was
Yeah,
Miss
Mr. J just
Yeah.
complained. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which
I just
honestly,
yelled at
that's a
them.
job.
Yeah.
That's a decent
Mhm.
listen. Sign me up.
Oh God. Oh, yeah. It's just, again, I will say I feel that Ellie looked great. I was just like, it's not necessarily anything fire. That's all I'm saying. Uh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Zen in the chat asked an interesting
Mhm.
question. Does Ellie finish the season? Now, to recap what we just talked about, Ellie has now pissed off Aisha a little bit.
Yes.
We know Joe ain't loving Ellie right now. Bree and Ellie are going to be fighting. The girls are fighting. We know this. But is there any world where Ellie doesn't make it the entire season?
I think she makes it. I don't believe that she doesn't make it. So let's see. No, I think production needs the drama. And she's, I
Yeah.
think, giving us drama on everything. On the guest side, she's woken up Jono, Charter 1.
Mhm.
Charter 2, she's already been late to a fashion show and not necessarily, quote unquote, doing her job fast, at least.
Mhm.
Okay. Then she has drama with boys. She has drama with stews. She's actually giving everything.
Here's your peach.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Here's the anchor. You got it.
Yeah, you
Because
got
guess
it.
who doesn't have the anchor? Eyebrows.
Do you think so? Because I don't think we have the Ellie and Bree drama without
But
the
no, I
eyebrows.
just mean Gail, like, trying, like, the literal anchor. Like, Gail
Oh,
being
yeah.
like, "Wait, what are you doing? Like, just do this.
Ye-
Just do that." And it's just
Oh yeah, no, seriously. I was starting to think that I was like, this must have been a pretty smooth charter because that moment was like eyebrows is trying to figure out the anchor,
Yes, yeah.
but it doesn't become like Captain Sandy doesn't say anything about it. Like it doesn't become a bigger thing where we've seen in the past where she's had to pull, the deckhands to the side and be like, hey, that anchor thing almost destroyed the boat. Like you cannot do that. Whereas this, it felt like we needed some suspense before the commercial break.
Yeah.
And so, but I think, all the things that we just talked about. I thought this was a really good first half of the charter for them. Like nobody was really like the weakest link was probably the chef, which we've seen before. But I mean, even he only had one small complaint. He cleaned it up to where the guests weren't begging for Captain Sandy to do something about it. So when she came up, Brittany's kind of like, oh no, the food was great. It was perfect. Like they liked the dessert. He really stepped it up this episode. So if everything's going right on the boat, we definitely need to keep our Ellies and Brees and Joes of the world to keep the drama going. Because otherwise, we won't have nothing to talk about.
Ugh, I just feel like she's good. I think that the anchor situation might get a little crazy next week. So let's see. I think Joe still stays. But let's see.
Yeah. It was a quiet episode for Ian as well. No micromanaging from him. So yeah, I think all in all, good showing for Below Deck. It was fun. I enjoyed the episode. It was, I like this.
Really messy and fun episode.
Really messy and fun. Probably messy and fun for us and people in the chat. Maybe not as fun for Ellie. But again, Ellie, she gets our LVP for this episode. It was a bad episode for her.
Ellie on Love Island, no. Because she would not compete with the boys. That's a problem.
Yeah.
I just think she'd be mad at the girls.
Yeah. But you could see Ellie on another show, right?
Yeah, I think so. Oh, and what we didn't talk about was, it's crazy, but we did see Captain Sandy messaging Norma for do you have and Norma said, yes, I do have a chef. A good one.
Yeah. Captain Sandy keeps touching base with Norma. She's like, hey, just to let you know, if you got one.
One more mistake, it's curtains.
Now, that dry steak did get back to Captain Sandy. She did hear about the dry steak, and I was like, ooh.
And that's when she texted, and she's like, so about that chef.
Jono's not making it through the charter. It's not happening. He's not making it through the season.
Oh, through the season. Yeah.
Through the season.
I don't think so, because he sounds so low energy in his confessionals. There's no way.
Yeah, I'm wondering if he makes it through another charter, or is this his last go round? Like, is next episode the end of Jono altogether? Like, that's what I'm really trying to see.
Let's see how maybe we get another breakfast fiasco.
Yes, something to really put this away.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think we need one more thing to really finish it over. And then we're good.
Yeah. Also, shout out to the chat. We had a lot of good comments on the last
seriously, y'all are killing
YouTube
it.
video. Yeah. We were talking about the chicken, eyebrows, and the city boys being up, the city girls being up. For the record, city boys is up.
Only because Ellie is late.
Hey, city boys is up. Ellie, the city girls are fighting. The city boys are chilling in the room laughing. This is a woman's worst nightmare. We up.
Yeah. We lost this round. But it's okay, Gail. We still have Gail. And Gail's going to drop that man on that other boat faster than Captain Sandy's going to drop this anchor, baby.
Or drop Jono.
Whichever.
That's mean. Yeah, that's
mean.
My God. Good luck, Jono. Yeah, good luck, Jono, in your career.
But see, you do get a crazy chef. I'm just happy you got a little taste. You still haven't fully been with the unhinged chef. Zarina, I think, is the closest, who was good at the job, but was still cuckoo a little bit, not enough. She was still sweet and we loved her, but you haven't had
I do love me some Zarina.
Yeah. Fuck all chef.
Maybe one day.
One day, okay. But yeah, let's see. I think we have a good season coming up. There's a lot set up, but we still got enough mess. It's not oh shucks, we're waiting for mess. So it's gonna be crazy. Can't wait for next week. I think the deck is finally gonna have some drama as well. So about time. Can't wait. Anything else, Chappell, for this episode?
No. I'm still fascinated. I think the most fascinating part is still Gail. I think the Gail and her relationship thing, I feel like that's on the way out.
Yeah.
But I love the idea that Gail is kind of who's really good at their job? Nathan. He's better than Joe. He's better than Ian.
What did he say? Experiences.
Right. It's Gail, just kiss him. Just
Yeah,
kiss.
let's right.
Because that's what you want. You don't care about that man being good at his job. You don't care. You
That
know
he
what
has
you
a
talk
flat
about.
ass. Yeah.
Yeah. If she lied to you about your ass being fat, then she really likes you.
Right? Oh my gosh. Because I could
Yeah.
never lie to anyone about their no way. There's no way. I'm like, it is flat. Sorry. But you cute. But you cute regardless. It's okay. But
Everybody can't be
anyway.
built like me, Sasha. I'm sorry. I
Oh,
don't know.
I don't know. No comment. Let's move. Oh my, just because I'm short doesn't mean that's all I look at. Can you tell that's a line I've used before?
You're like, I've been there, done that.
All right, but that is it for our below deck coverage for this week. We will be back next week. Thank you everyone for listening. Listen, help us out. Give us the likes, share it. We had 70 people here at one point. So y'all are killing it. Keep sharing and we will be here. But in the meantime, Chappell, where can the people find you?
People can find me on recapkickback.com. That's where I be chilling, where I talk about whatever I want to talk about. Sasha and I actually did talk about Summer House Martha's Vineyard. If you're new to the podcast, and check that out. We talked about the last season. It was messy, and so we had a lot of opinions about what the city boys and city girls was doing over there in the Hamptons. So check that out for sure. And then, of course, you can keep up with all the coverage I'm doing over there. House of the Dragons coverage weekly with Mari Forth. Other content on Recap Kickback. We had Bryce on to talk about some movies. We're doing like the Black Barbie documentary on Netflix this week. We got a lot of stuff going on. And then speaking of Netflix, Axel F, the fourth, I think, installment of the Beverly Hills Cop is out on Netflix now. And so on the Nothing But Netflix podcast, Rob and I will be joined by my bestie, Tyrone. He's going to come on and join us. Yeah. And so it's going to be a good time. So check that out on Nothing But Netflix too. And yeah, thumbs up. Give us some subscribes, some likes on this video, because then we get an algorithm. People start seeing us with all the big Bravo podcasts. We're trying to gain some momentum here on the Below Deck RHAPups feed. What about you, Sasha? What you got going on?
Yes. And of course, I have Mess Magnets, which is a pop culture, vibes only. If you're wanting to know why something's trending, we're telling you why. All right. It has brought up a lot of jokes this week, I must say, on the RHAP verse. You're all welcome. So check that out on Rob Has a Podcast. Rob has a website /mess feed. So check that out. And then, of course, Mike Bloom and I have a new podcast called TV for Real, where we bring in your favorite reality TV show contestant to talk scripted TV. So this week we had Omar on to talk House of the Dragon. But honestly, if you know Omar from Survivor 42, you know that it's just mess. So if you want to know why he had a knife and that he always walked around with it, check out the podcast because unhinged mess only. So check that out. And for everything else I'm doing, just follow me on Twitter at funsize_04. Thank you everyone for being here and for listening. And we'll talk to you soon. Bye.